Imagine you signed a 10 years lease contract to rent office building, and after 3 years, your company negotiated with the landlord to increase the space or adjust the lease term. Do you treat this as a brand new lease contract, or you just adjust the old or original lease contract? Under IFRS 16, a lease modification is any change in the lease that related to the change in the scope or change in the consideration. Let's take the change in the scope firstly. You might agree with the landlord to change or increase or reduce the space that you are renting. So this is called change in the scope. And how about the change in the consideration? You might agree with the landlord to give you a discount or change the rent for the lease contract. So this is called modification. So in brief, modification can be done in the scope or in the consideration. So these are the two types of the modification that we can see in practice related to the lease modification. The main condition here for these changes to be considered as a lease modification under IFRS 16 that these were not part of the original contract. So lease modification is any change in the scope or the consideration that were not part of the original contract. Firstly, is it considered as a separate lease? In order to answer this question, we have to consider whether the modification adds new rights at the market or stand-alone rates. So if the answer is yes, so it will be considered as a new lease contract. And if not, so at this case, it will be considered as an adjustment. And in this case, you have to remeasure the financial liability and the right of use assets based on a new discount rate. So the big takeaway here is to ask yourself, is it considered as a new lease? Is it adding new rights based on stand-alone rate in the market? So if the answer is yes, consider it as a new lease. If the answer is no, so consider this as an adjustment for the existing lease, and you have to remeasure the right of use assets and financial liabilities based on a new discount rate. Simple in principle, but in practice can be tricky. If you want me to walk through a numerical example, please let me know in the comments. Thank you.